Montenegro, a small country in the Balkans with a stunning coastline along the Adriatic Sea. This week we're in Kotor, where the Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, sits against one of the most stunning bays in Europe. With a rich history and dramatic scenery, we are exploring everything from cobblestone streets to the modern seaside promenade. We are sure that you'll fall in love with this Mediterranean gem like we have.
Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me.
Welcome to Montenegro. We've arrived here in Kotor, everybody. We are going to be staying here for the month. We arrived in Tivat Airport, which is only a short 5.5 kilometers from here, and today we are taking you through the old town of Kotor, maybe a bit down the promenade. We've only been here for a couple of days, so you're essentially exploring with us.
You're going to see what we're seeing almost for the first time.
We did do, this morning, we did a walking tour.
Which was our first walking tour that we've actually ever done.
Yeah.
And it was an hour and a half long, so that was a nice length. And it was fantastic. We learned so much about the history of Montenegro and specifically Kotor. It was great. And I think it's something we might start doing in most places that we visit.
Fantastic.
It was great.
We might be hooked on the free walking tours, so it essentially ends up being a pay what you want based on the guide. Our guide Igor was amazing. He was so informative. He is obviously local guide, and he was so funny. So he was super entertaining. So we did that this morning, and now we want to take you through the old town. We have lots more to explore because we certainly did not see everything. That's the first thing we're going to do. These are the old walls actually behind us. And the mountain, I don't remember the name of the mountain behind us, but it's spectacular. So we're down right now. I think this is the south gate.
Correct, yeah.
We're going to take you back and go in through the sea gate, which is the most common gate that people enter.
So there's 3 gates. You can enter the north gate, the south gate, or the sea gate. And we're going to take you through the sea gate, which is right beside the tourist office, I guess. If you have any questions, you're looking for tours, maps, and all that kind of stuff, you can find that there.
Or if you've come in on a cruise, you're going to cross the street through the underground passage and pop up, and that is going to be the first gate into Old Town that you arrive at. So that is the other thing about Kotor. Massive cruise ship destination. So you might just be coming here on a cruise for a day, and maybe this will help you out as well to look around the old town. Today, oh my god.
Pigeons flew very close to us.
It moved my hair. I think one touched my hair.
Okay folks, so behind me is the main tourist gate. It's called the Sea Gate, also known as the Main City Gate or the Marine Gate. There's 3 gates, like we said, to get in. The gate right behind me, the North Gate, and also the South Gate. And then just right over here is a tourist information booth. So any questions you have about anything, if you need to get a map like I have in my hands right here with everything to do with Old Town Kotor, they can provide you with that information on bus schedules, all of that kind of stuff you can get over there. One thing we learned, because once you're in Old Town, it's easy to get lost. There's a lot of narrow walkways and passageways and all of that kind of stuff. And one thing that our tour guide taught us, look for the mountain, and you're always going to see that mountain behind you. And then turn right around, and that way is always towards the gate. So an easy way in case you get lost, because I'm prone to getting lost, and I have, so that worked for me. So just a little hack for you guys.
Okay, so they do have this cool little thing. As soon as you come inside the sea gate, if you turn to the right, they actually have this cool, I don't know, sculpture, what do you call this?
Replica.
Replica of Kotor Old Town. So this shows all of Old Town and shows the triangle shape that it's in. So where we just came in was actually right here. So we're kind of sitting right here right now. This is all of Old Town. One of the other gates to get out is over here. I think that's the North Gate. This down here where we started the video, outside of the south gate by the moat. And what is so cool, I mean, I love seeing this visual because it sort of shows you just how fortified Kotor was for historical purposes. And this is all up the mountain, all the way up here to the fortress, where we hope to take you another day, because that's quite a nice hike, and we will have beautiful views of Kotor Bay. Anyway, it's just cool to see this, to sort of see the lay of the land. And now we're just gonna get lost in these streets.
Okay, so as soon as you come in the Sea Gate, you come across this clock tower right behind me. And if you come to the right, like you're seeing right now, you can see that there's a little tilt to the clock tower. And that is because in 1979, that was the last earthquake that happened here. The tower is slightly tilted because of it, and we were sure that it's still structurally sound. However, there is a cool little tilt to it. And I do want to point out, like, look behind me, check out this view. Look at this. That is spectacular. It's absolutely amazing. Waking up and looking at these mountains every day, oh my God, it just makes me so happy. All right, so we just finished our tour of the cathedral, and we're not huge museum people, but this was definitely worth the €4 admission charge per person to get in. The artifacts that they have from the 14th, 15th, 16th century, and even back to, I think, the 9th century is amazing that this stuff is still preserved, and you can touch things, which seems weird, from the 15th century. Okay folks, we're here at La Cathedral Pasta Bar. Super excited. We started off with a little white wine, and it's a house homemade wine. Very good price for a half liter. It was €15.50. And we ordered some awesome dishes. I ordered La Catedral, which is their signature dish, and Jan ordered
Truffle pasta.
Truffle pasta. So I think we're in for an awesome surprise.
And we got here, I think, just with about 5 minutes to spare, because since we sat down, the entire place has filled up. Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
Let's see. Thank you. That's good. Okay, guys, I got the truffle pasta. I am so excited. Mitch got the house specialty. I'm just going to do a quick first try here, and then we're going to leave you so we can just enjoy. Oh my gosh. That is so delicious. I don't know if I've even had pasta in a very long time. So good. I know, it's heavenly.
Oh my Lord, that is
Creamy
amazing
and delicious.
I think right now we need to devour these dishes because we are famished right now. So let's do this.
I highly recommend, like 11 out of 10.
Absolutely.
La Catedral.
Yep.
Here in Kotor. It's busy and there's a lineup for a reason. And the service is amazing, the food is amazing, and the wine, oh my gosh.
We had the homemade house wine, and Urush, our server, said it was fantastic, and he did not disappoint because the wine was absolutely amazing.
So we're gonna go keep exploring now. We did maybe spend a little extra time there than we wanted to, but the atmosphere is top notch, and we're gonna now explore the rest of Kotor
All right,
town.
let's go.
Beneath the starlit sky.
Okay, so one thing that I appreciate about Kotor, about Montenegro, they really cherish their feline friends. Like, they provide housing, they feed them. We've heard that they spay and neuter them, which is awesome. And people just love the cats. And we have a cat at our Airbnb that comes to see us multiple times a day. We actually feed it breakfast and supper on the daily, and we actually named it. Our cat is Smokey, if anyone is wondering. But it's just something really cool that the community does.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high.
So apparently there used to be a couple thousand people who still live within the old town of Kotor. That has really been reduced. I think it's around just 300-ish people that still actually call the old town of Kotor home and actually reside here. And there's evidence of it here because you see the laundry hanging. And the rest of the homes have been turned into hotels, and from what we understand, hundreds of souvenir shops. We have a lovely array of mermaids and magnets for your fridge, which our tour guide told us also are not even really made in Montenegro. So you're not supporting local. You're buying these magnets in front of this super tacky souvenir shop. So we are now up on the walls. So unlike Dubrovnik, when we were in Dubrovnik, Croatia, you have to pay, it was like a hefty-ish enough fee to go up on the walls. I don't know what it is now. And here in Kotor, Old Town, that is actually one of the free activities. You can access the walls of the Old Town and walk around up here free of charge. Okay, so Kotor is known for being a cruise ship port, and you might be coming in here on a cruise ship, and obviously you're going to be exploring this Old Town. If you are staying here in Kotor, you might want to avoid the cruise ships.
Yeah, so we heard that on average there's 500 cruise ships that pull in here every year. Basically between like April and October, there are cruise ships in like November, December, January, and February, but just not a lot of them at all. And some days there's one cruise ship, some days there's 5 cruise ships. So today there was only one, and I think there's only 600 passengers. But in conjunction with all the cruise ships are bus tours from like Tivat and other communities, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So what we found out is there actually is a cruise ship schedule, which we checked. So today we came into town specifically because there was only one cruise ship in port and it only had 600 passengers. Tomorrow, I think there's no cruise ships. We are here in October. So the off season for us is the time to be here. But even though you might not have a cruise ship, like Mitch said, the tour buses, which we didn't realize and our tour guide told us, those tour buses are coming from Dubrovnik, they're coming from other cities in Montenegro and neighboring towns, so that can still flood the place. But I feel like a 2,000 passenger cruise ship is doing a lot more to clog the city up. So we will leave a link in the description below for the cruise ship schedule because we have found that really helpful.
And our guide also did point out that on average there's 10,000 tourists flooding Kotor Old Town on the daily between April and October.
If you want to enjoy Old Town with just a little less of the crowds, which it can get very crowded, it's a small old town, check that cruise ship schedule.
For sure. All right, folks, this is the next day. We stayed out a little late last night and things were closing up, so we decided to start fresh today.
Yeah, and we wanted to show you the same spot we were at yesterday, only without a cruise ship behind us because there's 0 cruise ships in the port today.
For sure.
It is different because you can actually see when you're walking down below, and from up here you can just see more of the bay when there isn't a cruise ship in, so that is kind of nice. So we're gonna go wander around, show you the rest of the sites. Like Mitch mentioned, a few things were closing down, but we're gonna finish our tour with you today.
All right, let's go. Okay, folks, I'm standing next to an Orthodox church that was built in the 1100s. Again, 1100s, wow. And a fun fact about this church, it's one of the only buildings that has not had any damage from any of the earthquakes that Montenegro has had.
One of the best things you can do in Old Town Kotor is literally just turn down every alley and street and just explore, because you just find the coolest streets that look like this, restaurants and cafes around every corner, and it's just, the architecture is stunning. few public toilets, and they are marked on the map around here in Old Town, but they do cost €1, so make sure you just carry some change in your pocket. Okay, we're walking up on the walls right now. We've come further, we're closer to the south gate, but check out these views. Way up there is the fortress and the walls and the church and everything you can walk to. Through. Oh, the less romantic part of the of the ancient walls.
Yeah, I don't think these were around 1,000 years ago.
Not all of the wall walk is super romantic, but hey. This is a very thin part of the wall walk, isn't it, babe?
It's not too wide, and I got a big bag on, so I keep getting in the way of everyone.
What needs to be.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there we go. And you got to watch out for these little, what are these, the shutter holders? You could really impale your butt on one of those.
That could do some
when
damage.
When you're passing someone. The south gate end of the walls seems to be in more disrepair and not as romantic and fixed up. But over here by North Gate and by the Sea Gate, gorgeous. Lots of room to move. And a restaurant. Okay, well that's gonna wrap up our time in Old Town. Look at these views behind us.
Like spectacular.
It's so nice. So just our advice is there's so much to see. Just get lost.
Like, we thought we had a good idea of getting around, and we got lost multiple times again today.
Okay, but you get lost, but then you will end up in the same square over and over, and you'll be like, oh! Come around the corner and there's that church again. But we're gonna leave here now because there's more to Kotor than just Old Town. The waterfront here is beautiful, and we're gonna go take a little walk on the promenade.
Let's do that. Okay, so if any kind of boat tours is your jam, behind me you can see there's so many different companies offering boat tours to different islands and attractions and all of that kind of stuff. And when you're walking on the promenade, people will, stop you and ask you if you're interested in tours. So definitely, if that's up your alley, lots of tours available. At the end of October, it looks like that they stopped doing them for a couple of months because that's their winter time.
Lucky us, we do have about 10 more days where we could take a boat tour if we wanted to, and we may just get up to that.
I think we might.
Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps up our first impressions of Kotor. We love it. There's a completely different vibe out here on the promenade.
Very much so. It's sort of like the Adriatic Sea vibe, compared to the, historic Old Town.
Like it's miles of walking.
Walkways and bike paths. We've only walked about maybe 3 kilometers from where our Airbnb is to Old Town, but I think it goes on for a really long time.
Yeah, it continues past that. Now, maybe it's not so much a walkway. Once we get down a few kilometers, it turns into a road, but it's a super quiet road, at least at this time of year. So absolutely gorgeous. And yes, tons of the waterfront cafe bars that are out here in restaurants. Very nice. Now, if you're looking for a beach town, this is not really the place. There are a couple of little pebbly beaches, but they are very small in width and in depth. They are here. And the water is clean. Like there's no trash in the water. It's clear. It's that beautiful Adriatic, but it's not a beach town. But also along the promenade, super clean.
Like very clean. Like you don't see trash. Like I think once we saw maybe a plastic pop bottle floating in the water. It's just really, really clean, which is nice.
So I think that wraps up like our first impressions. We've only been here less than a week.
Less than a week, yeah.
So we're definitely going to do more things around Montenegro. Probably going to do some day trips, but we will definitely be bringing you some more videos from Montenegro.
For sure, and we hope you liked this video.
Give us a thumbs up if you did. Please, it really helps out the channel. It's one of the best ways you can support us, and it's free. Hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along on our travels and follow the channel. And I think if you hit that little bell notification, YouTube will let you know whenever we put out a new video, which is every week. And we love that people just come out and relax and watch the sunset with a beer or a wine. And you can just do that here on the promenade. You do not have to be behind the gates of a cafe bar, it seems. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.